And can those reasons, to some extent, be summed up in two words, Nicola Sturgeon? And does she owe your colleagues, the 38 who lost their seats, and the voters, an apology?
I think she does. I don't think you can ever blame a setback like this on one person. However, Nicola Sturgeon was a very strong leader who brooked no debate and no dissent, as I know to my considerable cost. She ran the party the way that she wanted it. She inherited an incredible legacy from Alex Salmond and after the independence referendum, where although we had lost the independence referendum, we had advanced support for it very considerably. She was elected on a wave, she was re-elected as First Minister on a wave of optimism, as we were, those of us who were elected in 2015, when the SNP got 56 out of the then 59 Scottish seats. And then thereafter, she was presented with a series of opportunities after the Brexit referendum and during particularly the early years of Boris Johnson's premiership before he got his majority in 2019 that ought to have been able to have been exploited to further the cause of independence. And there has been a huge strategic failure to do that. And there has also been a failure to win over those who were as yet unconvinced of the merits of the cause. Now, when the SNP was riding high, it was because we were seen as competent. People started to have more confidence in the idea that Scotland could be a self-governing nation because the SNP had performed competently at Holyrood.
I also get the point that you get the sense that you also think this is also an issue of the character of the Sturgeon government. You, as it were, fell out with her about a number of things, but including the issue of gender recognition and so on. Did you feel that in the end you were basically excluded and shut out of your own party?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, in recent years, I've been associated with being a critic of self-identification, not a critic of trans rights. I myself am a lesbian. I'm a human rights lawyer. Of course, I support human rights for everyone and equality for everyone. What I don't support is the right of any man to self-identify as a woman with next to no safeguards. And my views on that are in line with public opinion in Scotland. But what happened with the Gender Recognition Reform Act in Scotland with the SNP is a microcosm of everything that was wrong with Nicola's leadership. It was an ill-thought-through policy that was never debated or voted for on the floor of the SNP conference. Legitimate concerns were dismissed. Those who had legitimate concerns were demonised, and we failed to take the public with us. That is a microcosm of how she governed. Long before I fell out with Nicola about gender recognition reform, I made myself very unpopular by suggesting that our independence strategy needed to be looked at and discussed. And I felt that she was reversing us very slowly up a blind alley on the independence
Is the outcome of all...
Loyalty must be earned. I don't feel I owe any loyalty to Nicola Sturgeon. She didn't earn that loyalty from me. She had me sacked from the front bench and branded me a transphobe, which brought great difficulty into my life for me, my partner's teenage daughter, and my family. When I received regular death and rape threats. Even during my election campaign, I had people shouting transphobic bitch at me in the streets. That is because the leader of Scotland's main party and First Minister put that label on me and other gender-critical feminists like me. And what's gone wrong with identity politics in the SNP is a microcosm of everything that was wrong with her leadership. It was an ill-thought-through policy that was never discussed or approved on the floor of conference. Legitimate concerns were dismissed. Dissenters were demonised, and we failed to take the public with us. That's what happened with gender recognition reform, and as I say, it's a microcosm of everything that was wrong under her leadership.